to get in that top four, you can take this away and some as a blow, because it's putting pressure on Lallana to come back fit. It's putting pressure on Sadio Mane, who's been very inconsistent this year. It's asking Mo Salah to continue that form for the rest of the season, because he's a game changer, Philip Coutinho, and without him, although we know Mo Salah has stepped up to the plate, but the other guys are certainly going to have to step up between now and the summer if they are going to get in the top four. So it's a blow. Of course it is.
The top three, Liverpool's front three, are as good as you can get. And yes, losing Coutinho is a blow. But it also takes away a lot of options for Jurgen Klopp, meaning that they can't afford the inconsistencies, they can't afford injuries, especially in a tightening top four race. So it's a blow, yes, but I just feel Mo Salah has been that good and has established himself as certainly the on-the-field leader, the on-the-field go-to guy for Liverpool. They can cope. They can still finish the top four without Philippe Coutinho. A lot has to go right for them.
Of course, that's if they don't go out and spend some of it in January.
Yeah.
You know, they might go to Leicester City and say, how much do you want for Riyad Mahrez? They might go to Monaco. There's been talk about Lemar. There's a lot of players, teams chasing him. They may go and spend it before the end of January. I think the chances of that are slim, but it could happen, and that might be something. I don't know if Leicester or Liverpool would be interested in a player like that, but I certainly think he would enhance Liverpool. So it's a kind of wait and see between now and the end of the month.
Here in the summer, Real Madrid seem to have their ducks all in order. Meanwhile, chaos Barcelona. You had Messi's contract. We were laughing at Paulinho coming across from China. You had De La Feu playing up front. Yet everything just seems to have come together perfectly for the Catalans. And it must have shocked not only everyone in Spain, but in particular Barcelona supporters.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, we talked about day. This is supposed to be them getting something right at last in a summer that's been pretty disastrous for them. The fans chant for the president to resign. On the day that they're presenting this guy, they've obviously then what happens is Dembele plays against Getafe. I think it's only his second game of the season, and he gets injured. So he hasn't played yet. So, you know, you're talking about Coutinho coming in, but effectively Dembele's a signing as well. And for Barcelona to be in this position really is quite extraordinary. It tells you an awful lot about the quality of the performances of Ter Stegen, about the quality of performances in particular of Leo Messi, but also something we said in the summer. If you're in a position of difficulty, of pressure, potentially of crisis, of lots of mistakes, there are very few men better to be in charge of your team than Ernesto Valverde. I think he's dealt with this with such tranquility and such kind of normality. I think that's been a really key reason why things have kind of settled and fallen in.
A fantasy time, shall we? With Stevie Nicol, we asked you for your top 3 targets in which to spend all that cash. And who did you go for?
To be honest, I really... The Lemar one, I'm not 100%. The reason I threw Lemar in here is because when Coutinho was signed, there was big question marks whether he actually could reach the stage he's at now. That's why he's there. The other two, I think, are no-brainers. Liverpool need a goalkeeper. This kid, no question, I don't know how many years it'll be, will one day be the best goalkeeper in the world. Try and go and get him right now, and then you've got a class goalie for the next 10 years. And listen, proper goalkeepers will save you between 10 and 15 points a season. Right. That's what Liverpool are missing right now with Mignolet. And Riyad Mahrez, listen, I'm going to go stato on you. His actual stats over the last 3 seasons are just as good as Coutinho's. Now, he's not as good a player as Coutinho, but the guy's a proven Premier League player who's a little bit special at times. So, listen, if you can get Mahrez, if you can get Donnarumma, then I think that makes Liverpool better.
It's a real sparkle in his eye. Should we bring in Gab to completely rain on your parade?
Yep, go ahead.
Right, Gab Marcotti with us. Gab, any chance of any of those targets from Steve Nicol proving true over the next couple of weeks?
Barça, ¿sientes por eso una responsabilidad especial?
Esto es un honor para mí, es un gran honor. Como he dicho repetidamente, es un sueño estar aquí, entonces escuchar esto es un honor, pero el tema sobre dinero es un tema que yo entiendo es entre los clubes. Yo tengo mi objetivos que es llegar aquí, ser feliz, ganar títulos, disfrutar. Entonces, este es solo mi pensamiento.
¿Cómo has vivido estos 6 meses? Y no sé si has sufrido mucho porque tú tenías la voluntad de venir al Barça. Gracias.
Sí, desde el principio yo dejé claro mi ganas de venir acá y claro, ellos intentaron de todo. Tengo que agradecer porque entendieron bien lo que era mi sueño, lo que quería yo, mi familia, y esto tengo que agradecer a ellos porque fueron hombres de palabra conmigo y bueno, pasé 6 meses ahí jugando, dando siempre mi máximo, siendo profesional como siempre fui y nada, ahora llegó el momento de llegar aquí.
Supongo que en algún momento has hablado con Neymar, que estuvo unos años aquí. ¿Qué te ha dicho que te vas a encontrar aquí en Barcelona, en el vestuario, el estadio, la ciudad?
Sí, yo he hablado con él, me felicitó ayer cuando él subo y me dijo de la ciudad, de los compañeros, que tenía un vestuario increíble y claro, eso también ya me lo decía Paulinho, Luis, entonces seguramente espero ser muy contento aquí.
Usted ha pasado difíciles momentos hasta que fichó por el Barça. ¿Cómo fue ese momento en el que te han dicho, el acuerdo está cerrado, vas al Barça?
Esto fue un poco difícil porque a cada momento cambiaba. Cambiamos el vuelo como 3, 4 veces y bueno, al final cuando llegamos aquí, que pudo ver que estábamos aquí de verdad, cuando llegamos y ahí que empecé a darme cuenta. Creo que todavía no me di cuenta porque no empecé a entrenar, pero cuando esté con los jugadores ahí.
Could be the end of the road for Daniel Sturridge at Liverpool. Word is Liverpool are open to offers for Sturridge. Craig Burley is here with me on this one. Craig, we've heard him being linked with Southampton, with West Ham. Can he really at this stage resurrect his career, and at what level club do you see him going?
Well, I think he can, and I think he needs to. He needs to, in my opinion, get away from Liverpool now. I think it's quite clear he's only got a bit part to play under Klopp, and probably even less than that when they accumulate and put together all this money and go spend it probably in the summer. It's going to be even more difficult for Daniel Sturridge. A talented player, no doubt about it. That year he had, in particular when Suarez was there under Brendan Rodgers, they really linked up well. But those days have gone now. Yeah. Liverpool are playing a different style. It's a more dynamic game. It's a more pressurised game. It's a quicker game, and it just doesn't suit Sturridge for 90 minutes. It might suit him coming on the bench, off the bench in a tight game, but it's not suiting him for 30, 40 games a year as a starting player. The problem he's got and the problem Liverpool have got is quite simple. It is who's willing to pay the money up front for a player who has had a very tough time with injuries. It would have to be incentivised for both salary and transfer fee. If everybody can accommodate that, then there will be some suitors. Therefore, the club's not taking, you know, if it's, say it's a club in the bottom half of the Premier League that's...
Do you think that's where he's more destined now, though, realistically, at 29 years old this year?
I think he could play to a better standard than that, but you know, I think he could play in a top half club in the Premier League absolutely easy, but it's whether they want some, it's whether the need, the desperation is there for one of these clubs. Like the desperation, say like a West Ham. You know, I'm just throwing a name out there. I'm not saying he would fit at West Ham, but a club who probably going to be a relegation battle, have got a good bit of power and strength about them, but maybe lack a little bit of guile depending on what Arnautovic does. That kind of club might take a chance on an incentivised deal. If I'm 7th or 8th in the Premier League and have no fear of going down like a Leicester, I don't think I would be taking a chance. So it's whether Daniel Sturridge and Liverpool are probably willing to take a deal that is based on appearances. And if they are, I think Liverpool would be quite happy to take a deal.
All right, well, West Ham seem to have taken a chance with a lot of other players from other clubs in the Premier League. We'll see. He has been linked to West Ham.
Has he been linked to West Ham?
He has indeed. So that's what they took a gamble on a couple other players. We'll see if that pays off. We'll see if Daniel Sturridge could be the latest addition to that team.
Before I answer that, there's an important Coutinho point y'all have missed. When you talked about that big smile on his face, Philippe Coutinho, and it's reported in the papers on Monday here in England, gave up something like £11.5 million, that's in excess of, or close to $15 million of his own money to go and make this deal happen. So that's how badly he wanted to get out of town. That's how badly he wanted this deal to happen. And I think at that stage, that's really what put it over the edge. I don't know of too many other cases where professional footballers have dipped into their own pockets to go and facilitate a move to this extent with this much money in play.
So Coutinho hated Liverpool.
Said,
we know that, right? So what about Stevie's targets?
No, but I was just going to say, like, it is really clever. In the end, it was a really clever move for Liverpool to get this fee. I don't think we can ignore that. Now, as for Stevie's targets there, Thomas Lemar, I don't think anybody's really excited to sign him. I think a lot of that is purely creation. Liverpool say they're not moving for him. Donnarumma would be really, really difficult at this stage, and would mean for Liverpool dealing with Mino Raiola all over again. I don't know that they want to open that Pandora's box. Mahrez has been mentioned, but then Liverpool have knocked that one back. Mahrez's entourage also knocking that one back. I think right now what Liverpool would like to do is try to bring Naby Keita in early. Of course, they've signed him for next summer. And remember, we're talking as if Liverpool are sitting on an enormous amount of money, but they also just spent £75 million on Virgil van Dijk, and they've committed £58 million to Naby Keita for the summer. So there's a lot of that money that's already tied up. It's not like they're sitting on some kind of enormous war chest that they now need to go out and spend. So my guess is they'll move hard for Keita in January. I don't know if they can persuade Leipzig to let him go.
Do you want to be in Xhaka's commercial?
How much am I getting paid?
This, of course, is Xhaka, who is flying off tomorrow to Trinidad and Tobago to be the star of a liquor commercial.
I'm going to appear in a commercial, yes.
It's only you in this commercial.
As far as I'm aware, as of right now.
5 days it's going to take to shoot this thing.
Well, I'm a difficult client.
Yeah?
That's what it is.
Oh, yeah?
What? Yeah.
What are your riders? Have you got any riders?
Oh, what?
Riders is what celebrities put in their contracts that they must have, like, in their dressing room, like red M&Ms or anything like that.
No.
We can come if you like.
No.
What?
5 days to shoot a commercial.
5 days?
I'm difficult. That's all I can offer.
Can you give us any lines?
No.
You must be getting weighed in at Wind Country.
No.
Getting weighed right in. Here he is.
Sid Lowe is with us, as is Sid. Sid, can we see your dad? He's in the studio with you. Isn't he in Madrid? Can you drag him across?
He is. I don't know if the camera can. I don't know if the camera can actually reach him.
Well, get him to stick his head in.
He's just sitting to the side of me.
Stick his head in.
Can I stick your head in? Oh, here we go. Right.
Here we go.
He's going to say hello now. Look, there he goes. Oh, there's his head.
Wow, he's very short.
He's very short. He is very short.
Oh, your head.
No, he is standing up. He is standing up. He's a tiny man. He's like Mourinho, just a little bit. By the way, I wanted to.
Look at you.
Right. I was just wondering about this. It's taking 5 days for Xhaka's commercial, which is being filmed in Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Presumably, if this was being filmed in Barnsley, it would take about 5 minutes.
Why do you hate Barnsley, Sid?
No, sorry, people from Barnsley are going to be furious now. No,
Well, 2 of those days of travelling,
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I'm going to get absolutely slaughtered for that. I did work in Barnsley for a couple of years, so that's my excuse.
2 days of travel.
I'm sure you're not venturing to
I'm
Barnsley.
travelling all day tomorrow and travelling all day Sunday. It's a long way away.
Hold on. I was in the Caribbean in the summer, right? It's not an all-day travel to get there, and an all-day. It's not Australia you're going to. It's Trinidad. It's a direct flight. Trinidad.
From New York, there's no direct flights from Boston.
And who says he's flying? He's taking a cruise ship all the way.
You're cruising, Shaq. Yeah. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to film a 30-second shoot.
We'll pick the slack up.
Yeah.
Life. With Coutinho and Dembele, how will Valverde fit all of the attacking talent he now has, Sid?
Well, he won't fit them all in the team at the same time. That's the first thing. I mean, it's curious, isn't it? Because every time you look at the team and you try and work out where Coutinho goes in, well, I speak for myself, maybe you're not the same. But every time you kind of go through it, you completely forget that they've even got Dembele. And, you know, this is the guy that's been injured all season, so we haven't really noticed. They play very well without him. The answer is he doesn't, but it gives him options to rotate. It gives him the chance to rest Iniesta. It gives him the chance to rest Messi a little bit in a World Cup year. It gives him the chance to take some of the pressure off Suarez at times. So the question, though, I suppose, is if it's the European Cup final tomorrow and Barcelona are in it, who plays? Well, obviously, Coutinho doesn't. There's your problem solved because he's cup tied for the Champions League.
Good, there we are. Great point, Sid.
Oh,
well
for
made.
God's sake, get your dad in. He'll make more sense.
That took 5 days.
Listen,
I'm doing my commercials.
does your dad do short answers? If he does, get him on mic now.
Absolutely. But the thing is, it'll take a...
That's what you're going to look like, by the way, in a few years.
It's going to streak.
Hey, what are you suggesting, Craig?
I know only too well.
Do Barcelona even need to keep chasing Griezmann, Sid?
Since Dad, I think that's it.
Since that.
Does Barcelona keep up to chase Griezmann? Since Dad. Answer that.
Stop having a go at my son, you. Do they? No, not really.
No?
There you go. Was that short enough?
Oh, hey, he's having a soul.
We sorted this out face to face.
So we've sorted it out. All we need to do is now sort out Marcotti's long answers.
Right, that's it. Right, that's it. Do you want your dad to give a wave as a goodbye, Sid?
Come on, let's go. Wrap this up, Dan.
I don't know. Can he lean into shot and give him a wave?
I don't know.
Can you lean into shot and give a wave? I think he's going to try it.
Here we go.
Wave.
He's 3'4". He's 3'4".
Very smooth. Very good.
Oh,
Have a nice night in Sid, Stan. Have a lovely trip, Shaka.
I will. We all will.
Bring us back something nice.
How's far down here?
I don't know why.
The shed got him down. Like, get down. Down, boy. Get down.
Me and Craig will be here tomorrow. 6 p.m. Eastern, ESPN News.
We'll pick up the slack.
Does Coutinho's sale liquefy Liverpool's position in the top 4, or does it vaporise?
If I knew what you were talking about, I would answer.
So you said about solidifying, Stephen.
Aye, I used that word, yes.
So what does now the
Other states of
sale of
matter.
Well, that's
Coutinho?
certainly
Well, here we are,
dead
rocket
set.
scientists.
With the signing of Van Dijk, along with having Coutinho there, for me it definitely solidified the top 4.
So what happens now?
Well, it's
Liquefy,
really
vaporise?
knocked a dent in that. Big dent.
How big a dent?
Big.
Really?
Enough to liquefy.
Really?
Enough to liquefy or vaporize.
I don't know what other than mean.
So on the balance of things, if VVD is as good as we hope, are Liverpool a hint better, even with a loss of Coutinho?
How can that be? One's a forward and one's a defender.
Yeah, but Lawrence is
They're
suggesting...
definitely better defensively, but they're weaker going forward.
But, so in the overall picture...
Exactly.
Well, let's put it a different way, right? There was certainly more need for a defender. They have other options going forward. Not as good as Coutinho, but they have other options. You know, Mane,
So are Liverpool...
Lallana,
Stevie, why are
they
you
all have to
complicating
be
this?
better.
Are Liverpool better now, or were they better...
How can they be better when they've lost Coutinho?
Right, that's
How's
it,
that
that's it, that's the
possible?
answer. Just say that then.
I did.
They're worse.
I did.
So you said they'd finish second before. Where are they going to finish
I
now?
didn't say they'd finish second at all.
Stevie's getting angry now, Steve.
I did say
Stevie's
that.
getting ready, Stevie.
Dan's
I thought he was going to call him a little man.
Dan does.
Stop telling me that, you little man.
I
You're
never
a little
said
man.
that
You're
you
a little
would
man.
second.
For asking me that question.
Right.
Easy, Stevie.
Fairy tale in a world with not a lot of fairy tales anymore, so I think something like that is quite special. Was a difficult decision, to be honest, to make. Well, because to be 100% honest, the first plan was not to start him tonight, but Dejan and Raki played really a lot of games in the last few weeks, and so I changed my mind this morning. Obviously, good idea at the end, because the whole game was good. It showed a lot of the things we want him to show in the future, very often. Heading, of course, football-wise, first touch, good, under pressure, good, and then around set pieces, proper threat.